Hey, what's up? It's Pop Anime Comics here from PopAnimeComics.com and the Pop Anime Comics Lounge podcast, where I interview voice actors, comic writers, artists, cosplayers, and professional wrestlers. New episodes come out every Sunday, and it can be found on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher Radio. And yes, this is Pop Funko Price Guide. I got an awesome Pop Funko for everybody today. It's a cool one, and I've been talking about it in multiple other videos, and it's finally time for it to make its debut, and that is Brook from One Piece New York Comic Con 2018, which was shared with the fall convention exclusive. Came out during New York Comic Con, and it was found at Hot Topics. It's a $15 pop. Everybody who knows One Piece knows Brooks is the musician on the Straw Hat Crew. He's a fighter. He has almost a cool devil fruit where he was brought back to life, but he couldn't find his body, his soul, and then that's why he's made up of bones, and he's an awesome, and he's also known as the Soul King. As you can see, he's got his guitar in here. I'll show you this way so everybody can see it better. And so this one's kind of cool, and I think it's really important to talk about this in the sense that I've been defining this one as a sleeper. So 9 months ago, 10 months ago, when this thing came out, it wasn't worth much money in 2018. People kind of balked at it. People made fun of it. People said, why are you picking up a Brooks? It's not worth any money. And people flocked towards certain Pop Funkos. And they kind of neglected this one, and they might have just bought it in the set as saying, oh, I'll just take the Brook and I'll just run with it and see what happens. But I don't think I'm going to make any money on it. And a lot of people didn't want to touch this one. And this is called a sleeper. Because what started to happen in January is it started to creep up. And then in February and in March and in April, this thing really started to creep up. And it started to become very, very expensive. So in January, it went from being about 15, which was its price, and it was actually selling under its price at New York Comic Con. And it started creeping up to being 15, 16, 17, 18. And lo and behold, pretty much in March and April, it was $70, $80, $90 pop. And so I actually sold one for 80 bucks. And that's a lot of money for this. It's a very expensive pop. And part of the reason is that a bunch of people picked it up and a bunch of people didn't. And a bunch of people realized that, oh, Brook is an intricate part of One Piece. He's important to One Piece. He's got a lot of roles and a lot of different things. He adds an element of comedy to the show, but he's also a fighter, and he's quite important to the crew in many ways. And so all of a sudden that happened. It's an exclusive. Not that many were produced, and then people said, oh my god, I want this. One Piece is big. It's one of the biggest animes ever, and how did I miss this one? And so then what started to happen is that there was more people who had these, and there was even more people who wanted them. So there was a very much a supply and demand issue. So when supply is in abundance, things tend to not be worth anything. When supply is in limited quantities, things tend to be worth a lot, and people want it. And more people want this than will get it. And so that's why these fetch good money. And that's kind of what happened with this. And it took, about 6, 7 months for people to say, oh my god, how did I miss this one? And it's a lesson that anime produces money. There's San Diego Comic Con, just a tip and a piece of advice. There's a Ruby and there's an Oscar Laney, which is from the end Genesis of Evangelion. And the show just came out on Netflix, but those two are going to be worth money. The Red Vegeta is going to be worth money, and it'll be worth a little bit more than, its price point, but it's not going to be a killing Pop Funko. The Ruby Pop Funko and the Oscar Langy will be worth a lot of money, and they will climb steadily. And it might take 6 months, but they will be worth more. And they will be money Pop Funkos, and they could very well be sleepers. And also from this set is the Ito from Tokyo Ghoul. And that one is starting to climb, and give it another 6 months, and it's going to be worth like 40, 50 bucks. And so it's kind of cool when you have something like this. So now to talk about pricing, because I think that's what everybody's interested in. So as I stated, I sold one for 80. This is not going for 80 currently. in July. Just to give context. But it is still up there. So its estimated value is $70. In the last week to 2 weeks, the highest one sold for $70 to $72. It's a little bit hard to pinpoint. It's complicated. The lowest one sold for $62. So you have a $62 Pop Funko right now, minimally sitting in my hand. But it's worth $70. So to ask $70 for it is not out of the question. To ask $75 for it isn't out of the question. And the highest it's sold for in the last 2 weeks is $69. So you're not that far off the 70 mark. And given it's a $15 pop, if you were to sell this for 60, which it would fly off the shelf, I mean, you're making a 4x on it. So I priced mine at 70 on eBay because I figured out that that's what it's worth. It's worth that much money. Now, people are offering less, and I'm willing to take a little less because I just want to move it because the money is so good on this, and the money will continue to be good on a Brook because of that factor of everything that I just outlined. But I'm not willing to take 60 because it's worth 70. There's too much money involved in this. If you need the money, $60, this thing flies right out the shelves. Easy. It's worth money though. And it's one of those pops that pricing it right at 70 is reasonable, it's fair, and it's always nice to have a Pop Funko that is worth money. You know, it's kind of crazy to think that something like this, that people balked at, that people will go, oh, I don't want that, why are you buying 2 Brooks? Oh, Well, the reason why is because it's a sleeper. It's not that hard to figure out that this one is worth money because of everything that One Piece has accomplished. You know, I go back to the concept. One Piece has been around for over 20 years at this point. What has been popular will continue to be popular. And One Piece has got at least another 5 years to go, if not another 10, to really complete itself. And he says that, you know, he's sort of like 60% of the way done. But as far as in America, the anime, I mean, it's another 5 to 10 years of this show. I mean, we're on episode 890. So it's got so much going for this Pop Funko. And even other One Piece exclusives have so much going for them. But also, there aren't that many One Piece exclusives. I think there's like 2 or 3. Like, that's why this one's special, because there are so few One Piece exclusives that if you're a One Piece fan, that this is like it. There's this one, the Chopper, and I forget the third one. But it's just that there's only 3. You know, if you look at Naruto, you look at Dragon Ball Z, you look at My Hero Academia now, you look at Marvel, you look at several other, there are so many, and at a certain point, it's kind of like, okay, that's great, but One Piece had New York Comic Con, and had a Funimation exclusive, and I think had a third one, but I'm not even sure they had a third one. So that's what makes this special, is that this One Piece as a Pop Funko collection has had very, very few exclusives. And so I think that also helps it a lot, because it's not like Naruto that has produced legitimately like 30 exclusives. Most of them with Hot Topic and a few with GameStop and a few with FYE, but nonetheless, a lot of exclusives diminishes a product. It takes away from a product. And so that's good to know that One Piece didn't do that. So that's the entire thing. Just going to run through my social. This is meant to be a tool to everybody. So obviously, please subscribe to my channel, because that's the best way how to stay in touch with all my videos. Notifications also, because YouTube's wonky sometimes. Also, check out the website. Website's got a lot of cool stuff going on. I read about anime, comics, pop culture. Every week I got new articles coming up, so definitely check that out. Also, on the top of my website, all my social media is there. My Facebook page, which says Pop Anime Comics. I stream every Saturday live talking about comic books. You can follow me on Twitter. I tweet a lot about wrestling, anime, comics as well. The podcast, you can directly access it there from SoundCloud. New episodes come out every Sunday. I interview voice actors, comic writers, artists, cosplayers, and professional wrestlers. as well as you can check out my Instagram for all my Pop Funkos and comic books that I haven't talked about yet. Yet. And I say yet because I will eventually get to talking about the majority of them. So you could be in the know before everybody else is in the know if you follow me on Instagram. As well as I do have a pro wrestling t-shirt shop, and I'm going to be quite honest, I don't have ads here. The way that I support these channels is with my own money that I pump in, my own time on spec, and the only product I have is a pro wrestling t-shirt, and that is on Pro Wrestling Tees. So if you'd like to support this channel, you like what's being done, you want to share your love for Pop Anime Comics and Pop Anime Comics Lounge, you can pick up a t-shirt. They're $20. It's a great deal, and all the profits get pumped back into this, and it's the way I support this channel, support the podcast, support the website. So if you like all of my products and want to support what I do, please consider buying a t-shirt, because it is the best way how to support it, because I don't have ads here, and that's the best way how to support me. So thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one talking about more cool Pop Funkos, because who doesn't want to talk about this stuff? Because it's awesome. Anyway, till next time, everybody, have a good one.